We've had enough, haven't we? Green this whole time it thinks it's better than us, and it's not, okay? It's not. It thinks it gets to do all the color fixing and no one else does. You know what? That's not true. Hello, this is Joe from Nerd in Korea, and I've had it. I've had it, and I'm going to take Green to task. We're looking at all the options. There are very great budget options for mana fixing that have nothing to do with bloody green, okay? Also, all of these are under $1. I kept this list under $1, completely on purpose. Maybe by accident, but okay. Also, if you could hit like and subscribe, that would help a lot. What is your favorite non-green mana fixing? I would be interested to know.
Escape Tunnel. Even in some monocolored decks, I might use this because, yeah, you can sacrifice it to go get a basic land and it comes in tapped, or sacrifice it to target creature you control with power 2 or less can't be blocked this turn. Combine this with something like Quietus Spike to just take off half someone's life. You got yourself a real dangerous little trick there. 12 cents only. Myriad Landscape. Again, you can tap it for 1 or pay 2 and tap to sacrifice it, and then go get 2 lands. So it's a land that can go get 2 lands. It does cost 2 mana, but really, that's not bad for getting 2 lands out. I guess 2 mana and a land. Anyway, yeah, 15 cents. Does fit into a lot of things. Wayfarer's Bauble. This is probably one of the most popular ones right here. For 1 mana to cast it, and then 2 mana you can tap and sack it to go get a basic land, put it directly into the battlefield tapped, and shuffle your library. 20 cents only. It went up for a while there. Cycles with no pips. Okay, so yeah, we've got the Capenna Fetches here. This is one of, I believe, 4. Is it 4 or 5? I feel like it should be 5, but I think it's 4. I'm probably wrong. Yeah, it is 5. Sorry, yeah. Perilous Landscape. So the Landscape cycle actually has 10, I believe. And the Panorama cycle. This also has 10. These are all under $2. Last time I checked they were. I almost wonder if I should check again, but yeah. These are very, very budget, and you can put any of these in any deck because it does not show the pips. It doesn't actually show the mana symbols. It just says the land types. So yeah, any of these can go in any deck. You want to choose the right one for your deck, of course, but they're still very, very flexible. Number 10. Okay, Renegade Map. For 1, this artifact comes in tapped is the real downside. And you can tap and sacrifice it. Search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. So there's another downside right there. First downside comes in tapped. Second, it only brings the land to your hand. Getting lands to hand is so important. I think people really focus on ramp a lot, and it's like, yeah, if you're missing your land drops, you're not ramping. You're paying for land drops. I say that pretty constantly, but anyway, if you've got a deck that has a lot of untapped effects, this is amazing, right? This is basically Wayfarer's Bubble, but without the mana cost. If you don't have the untapped effects, this is a really slow Wayfarer's Bubble. Can't say words, but yeah. So it's definitely like situational, but yeah, if you've got those untap effects, a lot of blue decks could do this pretty easily, I think. Anyway, 4 cents only. Yeah, if you can recur this also from your graveyard, if you can pull artifacts back out, this can just be like, have you sorted for the game, really. Number 9. Compass Gnome. Okay, this is 2 for 2/1 artifact creature. A gnome, yeah. So when it enters the battlefield, you may search a library for a basic land card or a cave card. Shuffle your library and put this card on top. So not only does it not go to the battlefield, it doesn't even get to your hand. Your next card draw is going to be that, though. The benefit here is that, first of all, you can go get caves. If you're using caves, caves are underrated. I would seriously consider looking at them. Pit of Offerings is like my pick for maybe best budget land, and Secondly, yeah, if you can flicker or recur this, a lot of decks can do that very easily. So yeah, even black decks will be able to pull creatures back out of the graveyard pretty easily. So if you got a black deck, this can just like always have you set up with the next card draw being whatever land you need. 4 cents only. Number 8, Hythlian Rope. I feel like I'm not saying it right again. For 2, this is an artifact. Yeah, it comes from the Lord of the Rings set, which is why the name is not typical of Magic things. I guess Magic things have weird names, but usually a different feel of weird, but anyway. So it can't be sacrificed. First of all, for 1, you can tap it and search your library for a basic land card, put it on the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. And then you give it away to another player. So it's going to keep going around. This is basically like a group hug thing. Pretty nice little group hug effect if you're looking for that. I actually just covered a group hug deck and didn't think of adding this card. I should have. And for 2 and tap, draw a card, then yeah, a player to your right gains control of Hythlian Rope. Again, yeah, it's always the player to your right. It's not any player, right? That's something I got to consider as well. So in a 2-player game, that's actually pretty solid. In a multiplayer game, you're going to get it 1 out of 4 times. You really got to be dedicated to that like group hug if you want to use this. 18 cents only. Number 7, Navigation Orb. For 3, this is an artifact. You can pay 2 and sack it. So search your library for up to 2 basic land or gate cards, reveal those cards, put 1 onto the battlefield tapped and the other into your hand. That's actually so good. 5 is a lot for that effect, I agree, but like, again, if you can get if you can pull artifacts out of your graveyard, that's when this becomes really good. Otherwise, do not use it. It straight up is like unplayable in a lot of decks. I have a Cascade deck that uses a lot of cave, so yeah, or gate cards, right? Not gates, and yeah, that would be pretty amazing. Number 6, okay, Gem of Becoming. This one, I could see people being like, I don't like this. It's so good, but like, you gotta bear with me on it. It's one of those, it's tutoring, it's not ramping. I think it's the one major complaint, but as I said, you're missing land drops, you're not really ramping, but okay. 3 to cast this artifact, and then 3 and tap and sack it to get it to work. So 6 is a lot, but is it worth it? We'll see. Search your library for an island card, a swamp card, and a mountain card. So you're going to get 3 lands to hand. 3. That's not shabby. Or not too shabby is what I meant to say. Yeah. Reveal those cards, put them into your hand, then shuffle your library. Standard stuff. But what it does not say is basic. That's why it's really good. There's no basic, right? If you've got lands with multiple land types, you can even find budget ones that have like dual land types and things like that. You can go and basically have all of your mana fixing sorted for the game. I believe this is what, Grixis? Yeah. I actually wanted to pick these up for my wizard deck, and they're all sold out in Korea at my shop. Anyway, 17 cents. 6 sounds like a lot to not get things to the battlefield. It's still incredible. Number 5, Demolition Field. Okay, so you can tap this to add a colorless, which sounds not good, or pay 2, tap it, sacrifice it, and destroy an opponent's land. Having some land removal, especially targeted land removal, is so important. Again, I feel like people don't like land removal, and it's like, oh, so if they play Cabal Coffers, they just win? Is that how that works? I don't think that's how that's supposed to work. And this is also like, you destroy the land and then both of you go get a basic land to replace both of your lands that you lost. So you can just, keep tapping this and use it as colorless mana for the whole game. Sure, and if someone plays that really problematic land, you just take it out right away, right? There's so much you can do with this. It's, again, targeted land removal I think is really okay, especially when you're just like replacing the land with the basic land. I feel like that takes a lot of the sting out of it. So I love this one. Number 4. Okay, Dreamscape Artist for 1 and a blue. This is a 1/1 human spell shaper, and for 2 and a blue, you can tap him, discard a card, sacrifice a land, and put 2 basics into play. Remember, those 2 basics come in untapped, so you can potentially sacrifice a land and get some of your mana back, basically. A lot of decks get a lot of benefit out of not only discarding with effects like Madness, but also having stuff in your graveyard with Threshold or Delirium, right? Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. Anyway, 11 whole cents. Number 3, Pilgrim's Eye. This is the best known card on my list by far, and not a flashy one, but it's still like very good, yeah, for what it does. For 3 mana, this is a 1/1 artifact creature Thropter. Yeah, it's flying. A 1/1 flyer that when it enters, you go get a land and put it into your hand. A basic land. Yeah, a basic land and you put it in your hand. So it's guaranteeing your land drop. It's not really ramping, it's your land drop. That's still quite good, right? And it is a basic land, nothing like a fancy land or anything, but... And the rest of the time you can flicker it, you can like recur it, whatever, or just use as a 1/1 flying blocker. That's actually pretty good all on its own. Anyway, 3 cents. Not flashy, but very good. Number 2. A Monument to Perfection. Only 2 mana for this. For 3, tap it, search the library for a basic sphere or locust land card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. So this can just keep going and getting whatever you need. Those actually can be pretty useful. The sphere and locust cards. And yeah, once you've got 9 or more lands with different names among basic sphere oh my, and locust lands you control. So again, you can get 5 basic lands. You need 4 more between. It's if you're doing a Wooburg deck, I guess, or you could do a 4-color deck and 5 of these other ones. Not that hard to do if you're like combining with a ramp and things like that. I think that's not that impractical, but yeah, 3 mana having an indestructible 9/9 with Toxic 9 that can just like ignore board wipes and things like that. Again, someone plays a board wipe, you're like, okay, great. I've got my lands down. I've got Monument to Perfection down. I'll pay the 3 mana and just like pretty much start knocking people out of the game. No problem. Yeah. It can sort out your lands, and it can also be with some hassle. A win con though. Like that's not bad. 14 cents. Number 1. Moonsilver Key for 2 mana. This is an artifact. Again, pay 1, sacrifice Moonsilver Key. So it's another like sack artifact. Kind of like Wayfarer's Bauble, but a little bit more expensive. But you can search for a basic land or any mana rock. Any mana, that's crazy. Any mana rock. Go get, especially if you have, this is not so budget, but Chromatic Lantern is what I always do. You sack this, you'll get Chromatic Lantern. Chromatic Lantern allows you to tap any land for any color, and you're just done mana fixing the whole game. Just taken care of right there. You can go get, I think your library for an artifact card with a mana ability. So any artifact card that has a mana ability you can go get, you can really abuse that as well. If you've got some kind of like artifact creature that has a mana ability, maybe it'll actually let you do something else there too. It's flexible enough that you can use it as a tutor for a whole bunch of different things. But yeah, ideally you're just getting your mana fixing done. This is actually up to 83 cents. It took forever to get this high. This is from, right, what is it, the set called again? It's the horror set. I actually did an opening on it recently for Halloween, and I totally am spacing on it already. I can see the bundle box even, but it doesn't say. It's not Midnight Hunt. It's the other one, Crimson Vow. Yeah, I think this is from. Oh no, it is from Midnight Hunt. Okay, this is from Midnight Hunt. I expected this to go way up in value. I think I actually ordered like 4 or 5 of them, and then yeah, it just never took off. 83 cents though. The list. Okay, we got Compass Gnome at 4 whole cents. Navigation Orb at 14 cents. Hythlian Rope at 18 cents. Renegade Map at, once again, 4 cents. Gem of Becoming, 17 cents. Especially in Grixis, you're just going to like having your all of your fixing done just is really good in Grixis. Demolition Field, 68 cents. Really have some version of this in just about every deck. Dreamscape Artist, 11 cents. Pilgrim's Eye is 3 whole cents. Monument to Perfection. I keep saying 2. It's of Perfection. 14 cents. Moon Silver Key, 83 cents. All under $1 even. Alright, take it easy.